Hi, it's Colleen with LA Canines, and today I want to talk to you about crate training. Crate training is an important aspect of creating a balanced relationship with your dog, while you're also teaching good behaviors like housebreaking and curbing those unwanted behaviors like chewing on the furniture. Crating is also a wonderful tool to prevent or help with separation anxiety. First question I always get is, where do I put the crate? The crate needs to be in an area that's going to help achieve your goals. For some puppies, it is helpful to have the crate in your bedroom or nearby at night so you can hear when they need to go potty and you can get them out quickly. For other dogs, a quiet space away from people is a better option so they are comfortable spending some time alone. Keeping the crate by a busy front door is not an ideal space, as some dogs will stay on alert with all of the distractions. Crating in the kitchen during the day, where all the kids are doing homeschool, may not be a quiet retreat that your pup needs. Think of what area is going to work best for your dog and your lifestyle. The next question I get is, what do I put inside the crate? At the beginning, it's really best to keep it simple. For a dog that is chewing, you will not want to add anything too tempting to destroy. If you're thinking about toys, you'll want something that your dog will want to chew on and distract themselves with until they relax and fall asleep, like a filled Kong or a bone. Toys that are interactive or toys that make noise would not be ideal for a crate, like a ball or a squeaky toy. If you're housebreaking and having potty accidents, don't put anything too absorbent that the dog will want to potty on. When introducing your dog or puppy to the crate, it is best to offer a walk or exercise so they are ready to go into a resting state. There are many techniques to use when inviting the dog into the crate for the first few times. Here you can see puppy Sadie struggling a bit at the beginning while she's learning to calmly walk into the crate using momentum and steady leash pressure. The important key is to have a very relaxed leash once the dog is entering the crate. Using space is one of the simplest techniques to invite your dog to enter a crate. Bring your dog to the opening and wait for them to walk into the crate on their own. You will use spatial pressure to keep them moving forward into the crate and not away from the crate into other areas. You can continue to turn their body toward the crate, and you can also use a second technique such as leash pressure if necessary. Using food can be a valuable tool if used correctly. I typically like to reward with food after they go in rather than luring them in with food at the beginning. However, you can use food to guide them in if they are willingly walking into the crate. You can toss treats into the crate to encourage them to walk in, but be sure to not trap them in the crate by closing the door too quickly. We always want this to be associated with calm and acceptance, not caging. Once your dog is inside the crate, we want them to calmly adjust to a waiting state, which can take some time. Use the door of the crate as a threshold boundary. Be sure to not close the door too quickly. We want our dogs to choose to calmly stay inside. You will want to repeat the invitation process a few times to create a predictable pattern and an easy entry into the crate. Once the dog is entering the crate without too much human guidance, you can start to attach a word to it. The word you choose should be used only for the crate. Here at LA Canines, we like to say, Casa. Once it is time to invite your dog out of the crate, the door is to calmly open, get eye contact, or at least a moment from your dog, and then slowly invite them out. This is not a time to share too much overexcitement. It's really about being calm. This exercise is to be repeated throughout the day and evening so you can create good habits and routines. The crate should be an enjoyable space. You should feed in the crate to make it a positive experience. In the beginning, following a crate schedule will help your dog adapt to the new routine. A schedule will help the owner stay on track in a clear and consistent manner. Once you have established crating, you'll be able to use this as a management tool. For housebreaking, you'll be teaching your puppy to hold it and alert you when they need to go potty, while preventing accidents inside the house. The crate is a powerful tool to keep your dog from becoming destructive inside the home while also curbing overexcitement. One of the biggest advantages to crate training is it helps to establish alone time for your pet, where they can learn to self-soothe and wait and not become anxious. Crating is also effective in your active training sessions. For example, for housebreaking, feed your dog inside the crate with the door closed. Depending on your dog, wait a short period of time before you let your dog go out to go potty. During that waiting time, you are actively training your dog to hold it and wait for the appropriate place to go. The goal is that your dog can wait 30 minutes after they eat before you invite them out. Don't attempt this too quickly. Go slowly and work your way up to a longer period of time. Another example of how to use the crate during active training is teaching your dog to be calm around distractions. If you have young children but do not want your dog joining in on the excitable play, you can invite your dog into their crate during these moments. They are still in the same area as the kids, but cannot jump on the kids or get mouthy during the play. The dog is also learning to stay calm during these moments. Passive training is what your training events will all become once you have mastered your active training and are using good management to prevent any unwanted behaviors. Passive training does not require too much guidance from the owners. An example of how the crate can be used for passive training is at the end of the evening, as you are getting ready for bed, you find your dog already in his crate sleeping. He knows a predictable pattern and is already putting himself to bed. At the beginning, some dogs will bark in their crate. These dogs just need more exercise, guidance, and motivation to go into a resting state. If your dog is barking, it is important to understand why. Is it time for them to go potty? Following your puppy crate schedule will help you with that. If they seem to be barking as a tantrum or protest, you will want to listen for patterns. Some dogs just need a few minutes to transition into a calmer state. Other dogs get stuck in a barking cycle and need an interrupter. It is important that the technique you choose is not fun for the dog, so coming back into the room and talking to them about their barking will not help. Letting them out because they are barking will also encourage continued barking. It is important to wait for a small break in the bark and reward that moment if you need to let them out. Remember to stay firm, clear, and consistent, and your pup will be crate trained in no time.